Hi guys, so I'm going to read Action Comics number 17. So I don't know if I've already, because I read the Satirus story in this, but I don't know if I showed the cover in that video, but so it has Superman lifting a tank, sort of like his appearance in Action Comics number 2. He's fighting soldiers in that. But anyway, I'll meet you back to the actual comic. Okay, so Superman by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Leaping over skyscrapers, running faster than an express train, springing great distances and heights, lifting and smashing tremendous weights, possessing an impenetrable skin. These are the amazing attributes which Superman, champion of the helpless and oppressed, avails himself of as he battles the forces of evil and injustice. Frantically, the wireless operator of the steamship Clarion sends out the dread signal all seafaring men fear. SOS. Why doesn't someone answer? If we don't get help right away. For the Clarion, its engines crippled, is burning in the midst of the terrific storm at sea. The Clarion, burning off shore, hundreds of lives imperiled. Wow, what a story. Get out there and at once and cover it. Let me at it. When Clark reaches the scene of the tragedy, he finds the Coast Guard about to swing into action. So a part of the page in the scan is ripped off for some reason. Well, these are really old comics, so yeah, I mean, some of the pages being ripped out, and that's not surprising because these comics are from the 1940s and that. But you mean they're going to try to reach the steamer in that raging sea? They'll try, but they'll never make it. This puny Coast Guard boat sets out in a pathetic attempt to fight its way through the mountainous waves to the Clarion. The men row lustily. Okay, but in a matter of minutes, the lifeboat is overturned, swamped, and a dozen brave men go to a gallant watery death. Yeah, that's very depressing. Clark slips away from the others, removes his outer garments, revealing himself clad in the fantastic Superman costume. It's time for Superman to take a hand before more lives are uselessly sacrificed. Shortly after, a lone uniformed figure streaks down from a cliff into the raging waters. Nature's unleashed fury pitted against the strength of one man. But what a man! Stronger than the howling winds and battering waves that seek to drag him under, Superman valiantly battles his way on. The odd onlookers on the beach can scarcely believe their senses. Something out there. Look, it's a man. Swimming against the storm, making headway. Will he make it? A hand flashes out of the water, grips the Clarion's swaying side. Superman has reached his goal. On deck of the Clarion, its passengers race madly about in disorganized pandemonium. We'll burn! Why doesn't help come? My baby! Nanette, where are you? As he climbs over the ship's rail, Superman takes in the situation with a glance. I've got to stop them before they kill themselves. Stop it, you fools! Collect your senses. Stand still. Listen to me. Where did you come from? It's a ghost. Out of my way. I'm jumping overboard to swim ashore. You'll never make it. A crowd of maddened passengers swoop forward, meeting them head on. Superman flings them back through the air. Where's the captain? In his cabin, injured. Since the captain can't take care of this situation, I'm taking over for him. Get that? I'm taking charge. And my first order is for every able-bodied man to volunteer to battle those flames. Brought to their senses by Superman's commanding voice, most of the men volunteer. We're with you. Fine. Now grab anything you can lay your hands on and beat out the flames. Under Superman's leadership, a courageous attempt is made to put out the flames. It's no use. Look, the flames are spreading from the hold. Bring me the deck hose. I'm going in there and put out those flames. If this doesn't work, nothing will. Don't go in there, you'll be burnt alive. The men leap upon Superman, trying to prevent what they believe will be a suicidal attempt. Let go, I know what I'm doing. But throwing them off, he races into the very midst of the flaming hold. Battling smoke and flames, Superman directs a heavy stream of water at the roaring fire. Yellow tendrils leap at his figure. The hold hisses, smolders. A titanic battle between man and the dreaded element, fire. But aided by his amazing resistance to flame and pain, Superman extinguishes the fire. Well, that's over. A cheer leaves the lips of the startled onlookers as Superman emerges victorious from the hold. He's alive! What's wrong now? The ship struck some rocks and sprung a leak. We'll sink. Instantly, Superman is off with the speed of the wind and springs over the ship's rail in a great leap. He's abandoned us! No, he's gone mad, committed suicide. Striking water, Superman swims to the rear of the stricken ship and seizing hold, swims, pushing the ship before him. We're moving, but the motors, they're not working. Then how? It's him! He's shoving the Clarion. Closer to the shore moves the mighty steamship propelled by Superman's incredible super strength. We're sinking lower. Will we make it in time? It's in fate's hands, and his. As the vessel nears the beach, it catches on several rocks, remains suspended. It's pretty close to land now. The guard coastman should easily reach it now, and so I may as well make my exit. A line is shot from the beach to the Clarion, and its passengers are transferred to safety. Now to rejoin the others. Next morning, Clark suggests to his city editor, about that story I wrote up last night. I'd like to visit the Clarion's wreck this morning. There may be possibility of more news. Go to it. When Clark reaches his destination, he finds the Clarion is settled upon its side, and investigators are about to board it. I'm from the Daily Star. May I accompany you on board? If you wish. Together with the investigators, Clark seeks the cause of the tragedy. It was claimed that the fire spread from one of these holds. Then that'll be our first stop. When they enter the hold, look, quantities of inflammables and broken gasoline cans. You're right. It looks like sabotage. This vessel was deliberately set afire. Excuse me, I'm in a hurry. Excited by his discovery, Clark hurries to the main office of the Daring Lines, owners of the Clarion. I tell you, no one can see the general manager. He's not in. We'll see about that. Stop, put me down. First, we'll see if you're lying. What's the idea of breaking into my office like this? I've just learned that the Clarion was a victim of sabotage. Have you a statement off from my newspaper? The Clarion sabotaged? Please. Promise me you won't print that. You want to keep it out of the papers? But why? I'll tell you, but only on the condition that you keep it mum until I give you the word to print it. It's a deal. The Clarion is the fourth ship of our line to have been deliberately destroyed. Thus far, we've managed to keep it quiet. Woo, what a yarn. But why the silence? An unknown gang has contacted us, demanding $5 million, or they will continue their evil work. $5 million? At least they aren't pikers. I don't know what that is. I guess that means like scammers or something. I don't know what that means. Anyway, that moment the telephone rings. I've been expecting the gang to contact me again. This may be them. Clark listens in on the ensuing conversation on an extension phone in the office. You know who this is. Once again, we've demonstrated to you how uncomfortable we can make things if you don't pay the prices we demand. That voice, it sounds familiar, and yet I can't remember who it is. We will contact you again later. Meanwhile, tell the reporter who is now in your office absolutely nothing. After the mysterious caller hangs up, Operator, important police business. Trace that call that just reached this number. Sorry, sir, you must be mistaken. According to our records, no phone call was made to your office in the last several minutes. You see how it is? Our private detectives are helpless, can get no clue at all as to who the vandals are. What do you plan to do about it? What can we do but pay? If we don't come across, our business will be entirely wrecked. And now, if you'll please leave me. Only one person could have accomplished the miraculous scientific feat of telephoning without using the telephone company's lines. And now I recall his voice. Ultra, the mad scientist who seeks domination of the Earth. Keep walking, Bunny, and not a peep out of you. What in? Into that car. Shut up. As the car drives along, the gangsters proceed to muss Clark up. The reporter pretends to be injured by their blows. Take that, nosy. Stop it. Ouch. That's a small taste of what you'll get if you don't keep clear of the, Deering line. Get me? I get you. Let me go. I swear I forget I ever saw you. As the hurtling car slows, the reporter's figure is tossed from it. Grimly stripping off his outer garments, Clark Kent transforms himself into the dynamic Superman, now to give those rats a taste of their own violence. After the speeding racketeer's machine races the Man of Steel, and easily overtakes it. Look, he's catching up! More speed! Up leaps Superman, with his huge burden. Yo! Let me out. Don't let it get me. As he lands atop the skyscraper, Superman deposits the auto none too gently, then leaps off. That ought to throw a little fear into them. When the terrified gangsters report back to their chief. So I'm going to do a video. I think I might do a video explaining Lex Luthor and the Ultra Humanite, because it's very confusing. They're two separate characters. So Ultra Humanite was Superman's first villain. He looks identical to Lex Luthor, but in reality he isn't Lex Luthor. There was a comic called Superman Batman Generations where they made Ultra Humanite and Lex Luthor the same character, but it's a very confusing history. So essentially, after Ultra Humanite died in the supposedly died. I'll do a video explaining Ultra Humanite Lex Luthor, because a lot of people don't know about it. It's very convoluted. So that this isn't Lex Luthor, it's Ultra Humanite. So what's happened? Speak up, you fools. It was like a nightmare. An incredibly strong guy scared us silly with his super strength. Superman, so he's mixing in. That means I've got to act, and fast. Ultra mad scientific genius adjusts the miraculous invention with which he can cut out in any telephone line without physical contact. If I'm going to continue my costly subversive activities, I got to get capital, huge sums of it at once. You again. The time has come for you to deliver the $5 million. Send a messenger at once to 211 Court Avenue. At once, or there won't be a single steamer intact on your line this time tomorrow. Will you comply, or must we? Well, do as you say. This sabotage has got to stop. Hanging by his fingertips outside the window, Superman's super hearing has enabled him to hear the conversation. I guess I've come just in time. Take this suitcase to 211 Court Avenue and guard it well, for it contains the protection money. Don't worry, I'll see to it that it reaches the right party. Leaping high among the clouds, Superman keeps the messenger's car out of sight. He's entering the right building. Now it's going to be my move. I give you the money. Why don't you just let me go? So that you can live to talk? No, I'm not that stupid. Eliminate him. In that moment, Superman bursts in through the building's walls. Don't any of you move. I'll give you a real taste of some action. It's him, the Man of Steel, arriving precisely at the moment I expected you. For a man possessing super strength, you show an amazing lack of intuition. I've been expecting you, Superman, and I am prepared. Then try and stop me from appropriating the money. Another step and I'll discharge this acid gun at you. I fancy this powerful solvent should have an effect even upon your super tough skin. Abruptly, the Man of Tomorrow lunges directly toward the crippled scientist's figure and crashes against an invisible barrier. What? What you have just encountered is a panel of transparent, unbreakable metal, a creation of my own. What now, Superman? Bracing himself for the coming shock, Superman hurls himself against the invisible barrier with all his might and succeeds in shattering it. As Superman's hands reach out, they pass through Ultra's figure. The scientist's body wavers, disappears. What? Then it wasn't Ultra who was here, after all. Just a projected image of him. Whipping out a weapon, the messenger covers the huddled gangsters. Keep your hands raised, all of you. You're under arrest. That's right. See that they get turned over to the authorities. Later, as Clark Kent writes the story, so Ultra escaped me, but at least I succeeded in breaking up his terrorist gang and recovering that protection money. Next time, Ultra may not be so fortunate. The end. So, yeah, there's an advertisement for New York World's Fair comics. I read that one. So, the Superman story in it. But anyway, that's the end of that video. I think the next video, I'm going to do a video explaining Lex Luthor and Ultra Humanite, because a lot of people don't know about it. The history of Lex Luthor in the comics, and Ultra Humanite as well as a character. Ultra Humanite, his most prolific appearance, he was in Justice League Unlimited. He was as the monkey, when he transferred his mind into a great ape. That's the Ultra Humanite, the modern Ultra Humanite, where he transferred his mind into a albino ape. He was in Young Justice. He was in, I think he might have been in the Stargirl show. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like, comment, or subscribe, or if you like, comment, or subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you, and I'll see you guys later.